I have a very American question to start off, and that is whether the term lad, how specific is that? Like lad versus broke? Like, is it a catch-all for any guy?
I would say maybe until recently, lads has felt more English rather than even Scottish. But recently, I feel like it's getting incorporated into Scottish kind of.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Ask a Yorkshireman here. He can answer for you.
I'd say lad. Like you go from like boyhood to like ladhood, and then to like manhood.
But you say lad.
Between.
Lad.
Because you guys are two lads in this.
Two lads.
Yes, that's what we're catching.
Two boys.
Okay.
Two players.
Okay, perfect.
You did just say that. It is just recorded on camera.
Players.
Great.
Players. Put a Z on it as well.
He's a player. Considering I'd never directed anything before, and I just went, hey, I'd quite like to be a director now. I was in a lucky position where I got offered stuff to do. Didn't want to do much of the stuff that got sent my way. This is the very first thing that I get sent that I thought, wow, I could do the kind of things that I want to do for my first film. I wanted it to be about Scottish people. I wanted it to be about people who come from lower income backgrounds with limited or near horizons. And I wanted to entertain and have fun while doing it, and have like the weight of what the Real Boys' story gives us as well, which is, as much as it's a really fun adventure and it's really funny, they both paid a kind of pretty high price. So it ticked all the boxes, and I was like, yep, I'm doing that one.
I'm not going to ask you to name any names, but all the stuff you got sent that you said no to, has it been made? Have you seen any of that?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen a film called The Brutalist. It's totally shit. It was really bad. I don't think anybody's seen it. No, I never get sent The Brutalist. I'm joking.
Because then that'll be interesting if you see it and you're like, oh, that person did a great job. But then
that's happened more with acting than it has with directing.
You say no and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, once or twice in my career. Yeah.
That's a pretty good approach.
Yeah.
So this is based on obviously a real life story of two guys pretending to be American rappers. Did you knew about them?
I knew about it a little bit. I wasn't like massively up on it, but documentary came out in like 2013. My sister actually knew them because she was in a like a Scottish hip hop group called Streetside back at the time that the boys were just starting to come up in Scotland.
Joy?
But yeah, I know. We Joy. But who's also Joy's in the film as well. So yeah, I wasn't that aware. But you guys?
About the story?
Yeah.
Not until we got sent a documentary link for the BBC. I'd not heard of it until getting the project. I don't know how, because it's like a Scottish legend story. So I described the film.
A lot of guys,
they're like latter-day folk heroes.
Literally.
No, I think like people in the 30s in the crew and that, a lot of them, they like...
Yeah,
I've got a friend from Dundee. I'd never heard the story, but I've got one mate from Dundee, and I told him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, obviously, they're boys, the rappers. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it if you
I hadn't heard about it either, but it's one of those ones that I then watched the documentary, I was almost like gutted. I was like, this is like passed me by and I knew nothing about it. I was like, it's the sort of thing that you really can like rally behind and be like, oh, I'm dead proud of them. And I knew nothing about it.
The weird thing is in Scotland as well, like nobody cares about the fact that they got caught or that they didn't make it. Everybody sees them as like latter day Robin Hood figures.
Absolutely.
Who like tried to stick it to the man and game the system. And I think we've got there's a bit of national pride in them for the people that do know about them in Scotland. And also look, I think there's a culture in Scotland of what do we call it? Like we have experienced a lot of glorious failure, and so we are good at taking the glory even when we don't make it.
When you think back about your directing style now that you've done it, I'm sure there's
when I think about my directing style,
like
wake up in the morning, I'm like thinking about my directing style.
I meant
that's what gets me up in the morning.
Reflecting back on it,
just
but
look at a picture of myself and I'm like, yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of like the specific James secret sauce, but do you think you pulled anything specific from directors you've worked with? Like, do you see any influences, whether that be something as small as like a little thing you do throughout the day or like a style or anything?
I think,
habits?
I don't know. I think I've got a kind of mild love for profiles and a French over, and I don't know, I think I might have got that from Joe Wright. And then French over's like back there. And then, I don't know, the only thing I pulled properly, and I didn't steal it because I was on the receiving end of it so much, was that it affected me, and I thought that is right, so therefore I'm not just like copying, it's also something that I've sort of ingested and sort of taken on, was Jamie Lloyd, who's actually a theatre director who I've worked with so many times, was was always questing for, forget the character comes second, I just want you. And that was like, I remember being in a cast full of people, and from the person with no lines to the person with all the lines, we all felt like we were everything this show needed. We as people, not just as performers or whatever, and that, I thought going forward, that's exactly what I want from my cast. So whether you guys thought that was moving and stuff like that, it is slightly ripped off when I told you guys that. But you can thank Jamie Lloyd, but it is,
Thank you, Jamie.
these guys delivered themselves in the film, and so I need to thank them for that, and I need to thank Jamie Lloyd for teaching me that.
How would you guys describe his style of directing? What's he like?
Feel
The good, the bad, the ugly.
First off,
Oh, no.
I think he's got such a natural affinity for it that it slightly like blew my mind. He'd never done it before. But I think his style is so, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my interpretation, is so performance orientated. It's like if you think you have an idea about the character or where the character's going, he will like sit with you and like take you on that journey. And when you're like in the middle of the scene, he'll be sitting like continuing that journey with you, like in the middle of it, like giving you notes like live.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced someone so invested in the performance as I did with James.
Thanks.
And he's so aware of like every single thing you're doing, and like so incredibly like intelligent and articulate. But I think that just comes because obviously he's such a great performer. But that really shines through in his directorial approach.
Thanks, love. That's my style.
My bad.
Yeah.
Said my piece.
I don't think I got a style yet. I've only done one film, so I don't know. But I appreciate what you said. Thank you.
That's all you're getting.
That's all I'm getting.
Apparently, it's a big deal that American productions have craft services and that other people don't.
We get
And like
craft.
you just had, you've got Canadian on Testaments. Like, what do we need to know? I didn't realize there was.
You must have crafted.
We have
on
craft
Blood
on
of My
Outlander.
Blood.
We have,
Truck.
yeah, it's brilliant. Pancakes
Yeah.
at 1 o'clock and bacon and maple syrup. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Granola.
Usually-
Wasn't like that on the film.
Usually on a British film or
Yeah.
telly show, you don't really get like a full-on crafty. But I've got to tell you,
Had it a couple days.
it's not bad for me, because like when I've been on American jobs, and I've worked in Canada a lot, and you're like, you have to walk past that table all the time. You're like, ooh, I think I'll have 4 jelly babies and a pancake and a packet of crisps and a biscotti. Do you know what I mean? You're
And
like,
then do your pump before going on.
You've seen me do my
Yeah,
prep.
of course. Even for directing.
Just when I look at pictures of myself. Yeah.
I do agree with James in that the craft approach on a British or Scottish production it's like humbling. You make your choice at the start of the day of what snack you're picking, because that's the one snack you're getting, because the rest are going to be gone, and you appreciate that snack, I think, more. I think when you have a craft truck, quite frankly, I
Limitless.
became blasé about it. Okay, you're like flinging sandwiches about, you're taking snacks you don't need. Whereas in a British / Scottish / across the pond productions, you appreciate it more.
Can I just ask what a craft is? Because
It's a truck.
I've never experienced
Breaking news.
Craft is like, you get like breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's another department, separate from catering usually, that just keeps you fed with delightful.
And I'm glad we
It's
said
like
people
a
don't know what it
snack
is.
All day.
truck, but some of the snacks are like baguettes or like loaded baked, like not a snack. It's like
Dinner.
yeah. But
I've
it's,
all
you
my
can
life
have it
get on
whenever
these
you
big
want.
Jobs, don't
Yeah.
you guys?
We were nipping out though for fish suppers during filming, though, weren't we? Because the food wasn't.
I get like I put on weight when I'm
No,
doing
it's good.
Like
Yeah.
got 3 meals a day.
Exactly. When you said you wanted to direct for the first time, did a lot of people think that you should also be in like your first directorial debut, like acting it as well, or where was that a
My
conversation?
producer said, like, do you want to be in it? You could play this part. And I was like, I don't know, wait and see. And they were like, cool, whatever. And then we started to get finance together, and it was like, you need to be in it. And so I was like, yeah. So like we got some money, and it was contingent upon me being in the film, so I had to be in it. But my least favorite days were the days where I had to do proper acting. I was like, the longest scene in the film is like 6.5 minutes, and we're all in it. And that was pretty hellish, actually. The rest of the scenes I'm in, it was fine, because I'm only in and out. But that big, long, I mean, the first cut of that film was
Me and you had a
like
big
9,
scene.
10 minutes. And it was nuts, because it was just so hard to be like, watching these guys and actually appraising your performance, because I'm actually trying to be there for you, give you something so that you then get to give like even a marginally better thing back.
Were you going to the monitor to like watch your? I don't remember this. Were you going to the monitor like watch your coverage back?
Yeah.
So strange.
That's so strange.
Yeah, but you're watching it just going like,
Yeah.
I guess it's all right. I guess it's all right. Yeah,
It's
all right. I
weird.
didn't mess it up.
Because like on the days that James was like acting, it felt like a different person. Like I remember being like, oh, that's James like McAvoy the actor, and I was like forgetting it's the same guy that's been here for the past few weeks. But I was like, oh no way.
And when you're opposite a scene with James McAvoy,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers.
No, seriously,
It's to do with the body odour.
Scary, innit?
You know.
no, it's scary. There's a
Yeah,
scene with me and
it's
James have, and I was just like, you can't take your eyes off him.
Because you're not allowed.
His character, yeah, you're not allowed.
Actually, not allowed.
Now you have this to show, so like if you want to direct again, the financing probably wouldn't be contingent on you acting in it, right? 'Cause it's
I
like-
don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
guess-
Depends if I want to make something obscure about like, I don't know, pornos about fucking sea otters or something like that. Like I'm pretty sure I'll
feel
need
like the
I'll need to be
finance-
in it to get that
Big
finance.
market.
There's a market for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, any like super extreme places that you've filmed? Like what's the most extreme
On this job?
place that you've on anything that you've
Oh, well, to be fair,
Gotta have a good
I think Hilltown and Dundee was pretty extreme.
Hilltown was great. Hilltown was awesome.
Hilltown was class, they were amazing, but
Did you make it up to
Hilltown's
Hilltown?
mad.
You never made it. You did make it up to Hilltown, yeah.
Yeah, we were filming in Dundee for like 3 days, and that was pretty wild.
Probably throw the Barrowlands in there, can't we?
Of course.
yeah.
That was an
Yeah.
extreme
That was
experience.
very, very.
incredible.
I found it weird in the train station.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
first off, in Queen Street Station, because that's the train station that I've been to so many times, so it was really weird being in a place that I was like, I'm normally getting on train.
Familiar with.
And then also,
Was it Queen
because it was
Street?
kind of, and there was so much going on, and then I didn't realise that the prop train wasn't a prop train, it was a real train.
train.
I got on the train.
I forgot you had this. So like
Yeah.
Lucy had a whole thing of like, this is a real train station. And we're doing this big emotional scene between the two of them where like they nearly break up. She's calling him out on potential infidelity and all that. And she's like, but this is a real train station. I'm like, yep. What's the problem?
It was like
Would you like a fake
It
train
was
station?
like, no, dude,
Okay, well,
it
we
was like,
can't-
it felt
I
like
can see what we can do. I mean,
see, because I'm so familiar with that train station in particular. Other train stations, I'm fine with working in, but that one, it felt like almost a flash mob. I was like, because we were just like,
People started walking past.
everyone was. It was like people like about like an arm away from me. And we're like, the camera's there, there's people an arm away, being like, is this our train? Is this our train? I'm blocking
Lucy.
the door, I'm on the train.
Lucy, you getting on?
I remember, I think one of the most intense days for you, weirdly, was we had a nightclub scene. Remember we were all downstairs at the front?
Oh, yeah.
And all the guys are dancing and stuff, and I needed some footage of him just dancing, having a great time, like he's out of his mind having a great time. And he was like, not really going for it. And I'm like, I've seen how to have sex, you can dance.
do this.
But you were like, this. And I was like, what's going on? And he was like, I feel a bit embarrassed. Do you mind if we ask all the supporting artists, the extras, to turn their backs? And I was like,
No, you didn't.
no, because it will look like they're all turning their backs on you in the fucking film.
Because I'm like doing this I'm like, it's supposed to be like,
Yeah, he's doing
off
it
my
now.
face and like grinding on people and they're all grinding on me and that. But like the whole room's like looking at me. I'm like, I can't do this, man.
But it was like, it was so strange to me as an actor of 30 years. I was like, yeah, everybody's looking at you. That's the gig, man. I was like, that's the gig.